Hello, Ungoogleable. Welcome to your life. Today is beautiful. Please log in.
Creative and not worry about it.
Okay, can you show them to us?
Yeah, sure. So here we have two tricycles. They look identical, but one uses layer materials and the other one doesn't. Let's look at the one that doesn't first. The tricycle is broken up into several different elements. As you can see on the right here, we have each slot with like metals and chromes and red paint, things like that. But these are defined by polygons. So these polygons have chrome materials, they have red paint. So I'll just show you the material of the red paint right now. Right here is just the material. It's really simple. It's just a color into the base color, a constant into the metallic, a constant into the roughness, and just your basic normal of your choice. But I'll go ahead and show you how easy that is to create. Just go to the content browser, right click, select a material, I'll call it test, and just open it up. And then what you'll do is just right click, you'll create a constant 3 vector for your RGB, and double click that.
During the hard drive era, the Serial Data International Organizations.io had no problems keeping up with the bandwidth requirements. The performance increases that new hard drives provided were always quite moderate because ultimately the speed of the hard drive was limited by its platter density and spindle speed. Given that increasing the spindle speed wasn't really a viable option for mainstream drives due to power and noise issues, increasing the platter density was left as the only source of performance improvement. Increasing density is always a tough job, and it's rare that we see any sudden breakthroughs, which is why density increases have only given us small speed bumps every once in a while. Even most of today's hard drives can't fully saturate the SATA 1.5 Gbps thing, so it's obvious that the SATA I/O didn't have much to worry about. However, that all changed when SSDs stepped into the game. SSDs no longer relied on rotational media for storage but used NAND, a form of non-volatile storage, instead. With NAND, the performance was no longer dictated by the laws of rotational physics because we were dealing with all solid-state storage, which introduced dramatically lower latencies and opened the door for much higher throughputs, putting pressure on SATA I/O to increase the interface bandwidth. To illustrate how fast NAND really is, let's do a little calculation. It takes 115 microseconds to read 16 KB one page from my MFT's 2010 M128 GB IT, and that works out to be roughly 140 MB/s of throughput per die. In a 256 GB SSD you would have 16 of these, which works out to over 2.2 GB/s. That's about 4 times the maximum bandwidth of SATA 6 Gbps. This is all theoretical. Of course, it's one thing to dump data into a register, but transferring it over an interface requires more work. However, the NAND interfaces have also caught up in the last couple of years, and we are now looking at up to 400 MB/s per channel both on V3.x and toggle mode 2.0, with most client platforms being 8-channel designs. The potential NAND to controller bandwidth is up to 3.2 GB/s. Meaning it's no longer a bottleneck. Given the speed of NAND, it's not a surprise that the SATA interface quickly became a bottleneck. When Intel finally integrated SATA 6 Gbps into its chipsets in early 2011, SandForce immediately came out with its SF2000 series controllers and said, "Hey, we are already maxing out SATA 6 Gbps. Give us something faster." The SATA I/O went back to the drawing board and realized that upping the SATA interface to 12 Gbps would require several years of development, and the cost of such rapid development would end up being very high. Another major issue was power. Increasing the SATA protocol to 12 Gbps would have meant a noticeable increase in power consumption, which is never good.
Thank you for logging out. Today was a wonderful day. Please come back tomorrow.
Red, blue, green.
Mic check 1 2.
Congratulations. You reject the good enough. You reject words like symbolism and postmodernism. Obsolescence is not part of your vocabulary. Every night, every day, every step of the way. The diktat of fashion. The agenda of the color wheel. Gone. It takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. I repeat. It takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. Good. That is very good. We are source decoded. For you. For the most perfect moisturizer. The most advanced cosmetic lineup. Scientifically proven, scientifically tested. For you.
Congratulations. Calibration completed.